Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to SNL in Review, Halloween edition, as stand-up comedian Nate Bargatze hosts Saturday Night Live this week with musical guest Foo Fighters. Usually, episodes like tonight produce sketches that tap into the macabre. SNL has a storied history of this, like David S. Pumpkins or the infamous Fear performance. Horror comedy is an elusive brand of humor, lots of hits and a ton of misses. I'm joined tonight by former cast member Gary Kroeger. His favorite horror comedy is Beetlejuice, which is fitting as one of his first SNL episodes back in Season 8 was hosted by Michael Keaton on October 30th, the Halloween show. He says, "All I remember about the Michael Keaton show is that I thought we let him down. He was there every day staying late, fully committed to being part of the process, but I don't think the show showcased his talent very well." I asked Gary what audiences should expect with a stand-up like Bargatze in charge tonight. A stand-up is the host that the writers feel most free with. There's a feeling that there is no reason to limit what they do because it's going to be funny regardless. Stand-ups know how to deliver the joke, and so the comedic thread of a sketch is never lost on them. When I was on the show, the best examples were George Carlin and Eddie Murphy. Both transcended easy definitions, but they knew where the joke was no matter what they were doing. And if a sketch were going south, they had instincts to save it. Rickles was another example. Rickles in one sketch just decided to go off script, and the result was hysterical, even for those of us standing in front of the camera. I proudly recall, did not break character. Here's hoping tonight's show will be equally hilarious. And, maybe, include some scares. In an interesting development, Mikey Day is playing President Joe Biden, celebrating Halloween in the Oval Office. This is classically executed. I can't tell if Day has his own take on Biden, or if he's channeling James Austin Johnson. Let's brace ourselves for more of this, with Donald Trump as the presumptive 2023 GOP nominee. A new aide enters the room. Actually, no, it's the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Michael Longfellow. He is very bland and has an adult black son, Devin Walker. Kroeger shares, the new political impressions are rock solid, as nuanced as ever. We have a new House Speaker, and I think SNL will have a field day with this ultra-conservative, tin hat-wearing clown from Louisiana. Another surprise. Christopher Walken shows up. He is playing the spirit of Halloween. In South America, they maybe call him Papa Pumpkin. This is his first appearance on the show since 2008. Pretty interesting cold open. A glimpse into the next year. More on Day. It is tough to do a really fresh Biden, in my view. Kroeger says, "I love doing political figure impressions. Besides Mondale, Ted Kennedy, and Bobby Kennedy, I did do Yasser Arafat on a Donahue spoof. With Mondale, I looked for a sympathetic approach. I developed imitations by listening to hook phrases. I didn't need more than a couple of days with a recording of anyone to find that phrase that put my vocal cords in the right position. But it's more than just a voice. You also look for something to exploit in their personality. For me, Bobby Kennedy was always trying to please his brother, and that gave me, with Joe Piscopo as JFK, an angle for the sketch. With Teddy, sadly, it was his need to absolve himself of guilt. Bargatze comes out to discuss the future, picking up his daughter and county fairs. Really solid bits, I assume, are from his stand-up act. He shares that his dad was a magician growing up, back in the 80s, when you could fistfight an orangutan. The crowd is into this episode. Bargatze is a little nervous, but holds himself well. This is obviously a breakthrough moment for him, and he delivers. It's fun giving someone less traditional a chance to host. "I'm as shocked as you are that I'm here," he tells viewers. In previous eras of the show, bookers had to be more creative with their choices. I recommend watching this monologue to get a sense why he's become so popular. It's a solid block of stand-up and just fun watching someone make the most of their moment, like that Mark Wahlberg movie Rockstar. Gary Kroeger says, "I loved Nate Bargatze the first time I saw him a few years ago. He is the non-comic comic, meaning he's just telling stories that, at least, seem real, and how he relates his authentic persona to the situation is the source of the humor. He's an everyman who is not every man. How he admits his shortcomings is so relatable that you laugh at him even if his jokes aren't told in a classic setup/punchline format. He's the upper echelon of working stand-ups, even though his approach is very different.